Just start.
Welcome back, Bison Nation, to the live stream of the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast. Chip Washington coming at you, self-appointed Bison basketball fanatic. After this thrilling game the men had with the Norfolk State.
Absolutely, my brother. It's Brian B. Smooth. Foston here. We are, as we told you in our first live stream before the men's game this afternoon, kind of had us in our feelings. We were feeling kind of hopeful early in the game. We called out a lot of things that we needed to see in order for us to keep it close, and we did. We kept it close for about 20 minutes or so, and then it opened up the way we thought it might if we got in foul trouble and other things. But it's all things Howard, all things basketball. You know, we just love seeing how we can turn more of us into the fans that we need to support the program. We did say during that show, and we had some really good streaming in. If you're watching, please take a moment. If you're on our YouTube channel, drop your comments. We'll see those and see if we can address them. And we're also coming to you live from Instagram, our Instagram account. So at Bison Brothers Basketball, check us out there. So we got about 30 minutes or less before our women take the court. We wanted to spend just a couple of minutes with some reactions to the men's game that just wrapped up a few minutes ago. We lost maybe an expected heartbreaker. I don't know if that's the way you say it, Chip. It sounds like a song that's coming out of that, but we'll take a few minutes just to react because it's real. You get it raw from us today. Usually we save a lot of these hot takes and reactions to our podcast. And I know our latest episode will drop tonight, but we're going to be adding some things to it for the next one. So we'll get into that, and then we'll spend more of the time just kind of making sure we're ready for our women's game, because this is the one we were looking forward to, because we got our full team going after the so-called number one team in the MEAC right now, in the Norfolk State women. And the guys are all hyped up, so I'm pretty sure they're going to kind of keep that hype going still down there in Norfolk. So Chip, let's see if we can get it going here. I'm gonna let you get us started here. What's your initial reaction from the game we just watched over here?
So I'm gonna channel my inner B Smooth. See if I can get the right tone. Just want to say, let me tip the cap. Congratulations, Norfolk, for beating our 7-man team.
Right.
Kudos to you for beating our 7-man team today. So. Well done, Norfolk. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey. The fella showed heart, man. Nobody shrunk from the moment. Like I said, I'm not into moral victories, but I am glad that they put forth full effort with a small squad, small in number squad, and I think they did the best that they could. I think everybody played to their potential. Just the legs just probably gave out near the end. So
no, I agree, man. I did love the fact that we saw yet another wrinkle in how I think a lot of our teams that we face in the conference are going to see how they can neutralize the perennial player of the week, rookie of the week, and Blake Harper. Although he came on strong towards the end, he did show that he has the ability to find the open person when they bring two or more people. And I know that it looked like Norfolk State was committed to keeping him from kind of going off. They know he can go for 30 points in a heartbeat, being one of the leading scorers in the nation as a freshman. So I think the plan to kind of neutralize him was reasonably effective. I do think that, to your point, once we got in foul trouble and we needed to lean on our bigs, Taiwu and Stewart, I think it was good to see them get the minutes, but it does seem like we're just building depth. I'm hoping that we can get a few of these players that are injured back, because I think that when we see them again, I would like us to be a little bit more fully stocked, because they didn't seem unbeatable. I just think they had more horses kind of in the race, and when they were able to, we were able to get them to halftime and played a really solid, disciplined half. Didn't run as much, which was good, but I think that when they turned on the Jets in the second half, you're right, the legs started to to give out. Some of the fouls were based on just not being able to get back fast enough. So, yeah, I'm not into moral victories as much as maybe some. I just know that we brought the toughness I was looking for, and
Mm-hmm.
we can only play to a certain level with that. But yeah, I'm confident that we should see them again. That's the
Yeah.
deal, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
that it's for a championship because that's usually when it counts. And I love it.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
And
So, so
I particularly like that one offensive foul that Blake got
yeah, yeah,
when he just kind of looked at the ref like, "Oh, okay, you're not gonna call it. All right, boom, take that." I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay," but that
yeah,
was it. That was
yeah.
it. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just going to say that in all fairness, we spent some time talking about it before the game. I will say that you were almost Nostradamus like with your predictions on what people needed to do and maybe not do, and so where people were following your predictions, that's when I think we saw the best of our disciplined approach in the first half. We saw some really good balance. Shout out to your boy Calvin out of Chicago. He played some really strong minutes, gave us some exciting things to look forward to in the end. A couple of dunks to let us know that we can still get busy near the rim there, but we obviously were a little bit light in the middle, and so for him to show us some spark was really cool. He was Bryce Harris esque with his
Mm-hmm.
inside
Mm-hmm.
presence. You don't expect him to hop up like that, but when he does, watch out below. So that was cool to see that. Shout out to that.
I did. I thought he would.
Nostradamus here, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast, it's Chip, aka Nostradamus. He can show you what's going to happen before you know it's going to happen. And tonight we predict deep, deep darkness. So with that, we will we will turn our attention to getting us ready for the ladies. I think as we talked about it in our pregame before we started the day here, when we looked at the schedule, really when we wrapped up our last episode of the podcast, which drops a little later this evening, we talked about how this game in particular, we were looking forward to 3:30, probably even more than our men's game, because this will be a real good test for us to see our women's team at full strength going against a arguably really well coached and well constructed Norfolk State team. So Chip, let's try to let the folks know what they're going to be what's been in store, because I think sometimes people turn away when they think, oh, it's just the ladies. But you made a big overreaction saying that you believe, and I believe you're going to get some more folks to join in with you, that the way we're constructed, why not? Why wouldn't we be the South Carolina of the MEAC when it comes to Howard women's basketball? Ty Grace is building an incredible program and a dynasty like program. So she keeps reloading. So this is time to see where we are with that reload. So what's going on, man? What do you think we're going to see in this matchup coming up at the bottom of
Hey,
the hour?
point guard battle, Sanaya King, Diamond Johnson, must see TV. Down in the paint, Z Payne, Wheeler from Norfolk. I'm going to say Z Payne and Vanessa Blake and Marissa Steele and Now Miller
Wow.
versus Wheeler and some of the other front court people that Norfolk have. Keep your eye on that. That's where the money is going to be. Point guard battle down in the paint with the forwards. It's going to be, get your popcorn ready. That's
Get your
keep your eye
popcorn
on
ready.
those matchups. I'm a count Destiny as icing on the cake. So, I think that keep your eye on the PG battle
Mm.
and down in the paint with Wheeler, because Wheeler from Norfolk, she's a problem. She is a
Is
problem.
she what do you call her? A people mover? She's a people mover.
And she's a fast people mover. Like, you don't think she would move that fast
That's
with
right.
with her size, but yeah, she'll get the rebound and start dribbling out the break and like, oh, okay, yeah, no, she's, and I know she's got something to prove. So, but
Mm.
I like what we got to oppose her. We got a squadron ready to oppose her. So, yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
I like that. The
can't wait.
squadron is the best way to describe it, man. I agree that I love the matchups that you called out, and yeah, I think we have a mix between all of the court's going to have a lot of the preseason all conference favorites going at each other. So it's it should have a conference tournament conference type of atmosphere. I think you're going to see probably just a little more edge from both teams, as we know that this is the team we're trying to make sure we're ready for, and they're trying to get ready for us because they know that we've always been in that championship run right towards the end of the season here. So I won't belabor it because I think through you the point that you've made really since we started the podcast here early in the season, it was we're trying to keep an eye on those teams that seem to be stacking themselves up to compete not only in conference play but also make a decent run in the NCAA tournament if they're to make it. And so what I'm excited about is I think both teams are kind of stacked to be able to play competitively. We just need to show up. So I will remind folks that we've tried to make our adjustments to what we think is potentially going to happen with our ladies as we got a chance to watch the non-conference schedule play out. And I'll remind them that we had a couple of things that once they do happen, we seem to be competitive. One, I'll just say that we have double-digit scoring for at least 3.5, 4 people. We should be in pretty much any game we're playing. We also called out the fact that when we are very focused on our defense and not allowing easy shots to go up, we keep the game close and potentially kind of jump out and make it hard. We can suppress teams when we want to. But I will say that my dear brother Chip, the prognosticator that he is, has really said that there should only be about 1 or 2 people who can shoot 3-pointers. Because if they stay in the no tase zone, meaning that you shouldn't be out here you're messing around, that's where we have the strength of our team. You called that out in the matchup where 15 feet or closer, we should be putting up a lot of shots and getting rebounds, and just that's where we're going to win a lot of the matchup here. I haven't been able to see any other team take as many threes as we do at times, and I know with Destiny, she's kind of one of the folks when she's on, to your point, she's icing. She can put up scoring. But what I'm hoping for is that we don't see just 1 or 2 people trying to score. I think we need to see scoring from all angles and from multiple people so they can't lock us up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm hoping and expecting Coach Grace, Coach BD to go deep in the bag. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 10 players during this game, because I think this is going to be the type of game where you want to use all of your weapons. So Bohannon, Tiana, Cooper, the backup point guard. Bring everything you got, because it's going to be a war. So
I think you're right. I'm actually I'm excited to see if we're going to see some of the other folks that we just kind of got introduced to over the first couple of games start to emerge. Like Vanessa Blake, is she back? I think she's back, right?
I think she's supposed to be back.
Yeah, she's supposed
to
be back.
We'll tease Eric Grant because he told us the players were going to be back for the men's game, and they didn't. They didn't.
Obviously, his info is a little bit iffy. If he's listening in, he shout out to all the work you do with the Mecca. Yeah, with the Mecca Society, you got us a little too excited for the game, and so maybe that's for the next game, because there's we got Hampton coming up in about a week, so maybe that's for the next game. But yeah, he did seem to be just ahead of everything for sure.
But I'm looking for contribution from Bohannon, from Hemingway, Kaya Creek, Tiana Walker. I'm ready.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is so he's jumping in here. I know you got to check the comments, Chippy. I think he heard you. He said his information was as good as yesterday, but that's okay.
You had me out there, E. Grant. You had me out there.
He had the ultimate tease. He had the ultimate tease. The breaking news had me breaking my neck trying to get onto the television. So he got me.
Now you have me looking like CNN. Just
I thought it was more like fake news. I was like, yeah, I'm listening to the commentators like, yeah, Anwar's out and all these. I said, what? I didn't hear that. That's not right. These guys are walk around in the warm up, so we'll see how it goes for sure.
No doubt.
So I will tell you that Chip, with the ladies, got a chance to catch up with Coach Ty Grace when I was in town for the Morehouse game this weekend, and she's got some actually some exciting stuff she's putting together. I know working with Eric Grant and trying to see if we can get her do a little bit more broadcasting of what she's doing. She's got 10 years in at Howard. She's really building a strong program, and I think the idea is that we're trying to see about getting her a little bit more exposure. Just because she's a really good coach, really good leader of women, and we're looking to see if we can put a project together. So we may be partnering with her to see if we can bring her message to the masses. I know she'll be one of our guests in an upcoming episode of the podcast, and so she did ask us to go gently, and I said, "You're the coach of Howard. Gently? What are you talking about? We go make sure you're battle tested." But she said, "No, I love what we're doing with the program." She actually said, and I quote, that you have no idea how much this is really meaning to have folks that are we're unsolicited doing this. Nobody asked us to do this. Nobody said we had to do it. We just, because we love Howard, we love basketball, we want to help grow our men and women's teams. She's thankful that we've created a platform to really do that. So just want to shout out her and her team, and the fact that they're all kind of excited about the fact, that we're telling the story that needs to be told. We're building fans.
No doubt.
So this is great. This is great. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We wanted to, again, bring something a little new. We're back into conference play, and we'll be looking to do a preview show next weekend when we face those institutional Pirates from Hampton, some of my favorite people in the Tidewater area. And thank you, Jahari Russom. Yeah, we're looking at not only the folks from the 1980 championship team, but we're also talking to the folks from the 92 team that took us to MEAC back in the day when Chip and I were wee pups back on campus. And we also have been lining up just like I said, a lot of alums from the program in and out and around the program. So stay tuned. We have figured out how to carry this show past the season. So once we get to the championship, we're going to broadcast live from Norfolk. So that'll be fun to get some inside the scoop here. This is giving us a little run on how this might work for us. But once we get past the run, whatever run that is, we have a lot of things lined up around really the what do you call it, the ecosystem, Chip, of the basketball world. We're going to bring folks on from the championship teams. We're going to talk to our folks that are trying to help us raise money and funds for different projects. We're probably going to get Kerry Davis and team on. We have a pretty cool project to expand our facilities around sports and athletics, and so get on and maybe talk about that. So we have a list of things to look forward to. We do invite you that you all are on our YouTube channel. That's where we'll continue to be providing some inside, behind the scenes stuff that'll help you understand why it's so important for us to not only be fans, but also to give back. This is perfect. Yeah, this is good. We're excited. We're about 10 minutes or so away from tip off. We wanted to bring you some real reactions to what's going on, and as you can see, we can compartmentalize with the best of them. We still processing the fact that it's Norfolk State that we lost to, but as Chip said at the beginning, they're still Norfolk. They got to live with that. No matter what they do, they still got to be Norfolk. And then, we're trying to make sure we're ready for the real matchup here. So if you're tuning in, we do ask that you share any reactions you have with us. We did manage to keep the chat going from this episode. We have a new one going here. So if you happen to be watching the game, check us out, drop in your comments. But also, if you have reactions or if you're at the game, absolutely. We want to see your reactions. So if you take a photo with your gear on, with the TV on, wherever you're watching, please take a moment and share it with us. We look forward to a couple of the ways where you can send it to us in our email, Bison Brothers Basketball @gmail.com. Or if you're on Instagram, you can actually tag us at Bison Brothers Basketball, and we will make sure we bring it forward. We did get a couple of reactions from the Morehouse game earlier this week. It just happened to be from people from the SAIC or SIAC or I don't know, some conference that we shouldn't really know much about, other than the fact there's some Black people in it. But they took liberties to tell us how good they were, and that was great. It was a good history lesson. I appreciated it. I learned. I probably got to turn the page and see if I can learn something else. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're doing it for the love of Howard, doing it for the love of basketball. We are looking forward to continue to bring as much as we can in terms of insights to what's happening because, as you can tell, even if you follow the broadcast, you're hearing the stories that need to be told. We are a championship culture. We are a dream factory, and we are living that every day. And I think sometimes for those of us who grew up when maybe we weren't so focused on sports or athletics, it's nice to see that we can do both. We can be excellent in the classroom and on the field and on the court. And so pretty excited about that. Excited about that. Absolutely. Yeah, this is cool. So I'm gonna check real quick here. If you and we had a few other folks join us, so shout out to Coach AJ. We got Jaggers Carroll, international baller, following us on Instagram. Thank you for joining. This is something we're adding to a repertoire in addition to the podcast that we put out weekly. This will be a nice way to jump on and kind of share some insights on what's coming and maybe what we just saw. And so thank you for joining on Instagram. And like I said, Jahari, Russum, and Eric, thank you all for your comments. Yeah, you're right. Jahari's like, we need an injury report. Well, what we need is an injury report that Eric Grant doesn't provide us because apparently his information is a day old by the time we get it. So, yeah, we definitely need to know who's on. And what was the example you used last time, Chip? It's like a baby reveal when we see the starting lineup. We're like, oh, congratulations.
Yes.
You're playing still? That's crazy.
So as we get injury information, we'll pass it on. So again, just thank you for listening. And I'm looking at the Instagram. I guess I got to shout out my lovely wife. She's representing with her Bison Pride. She tagged the network with her shot. So appreciate you, wifey.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I will tell you this for folks who may be wondering. We've been sharing the fact that we're trying to do something new here. And today, because everybody's fancy now, we got these TVs that let you stream YouTube on them. And a buddy of ours, shout out to Ann Hargrave out of Columbia, South Carolina. He pulled up the show on his big screen television. And his wife, who's a classmate of ours, Keita Hargrave, was walking by in her bathrobe and thought we were on a Zoom call. And she said, can they see me? Can they see me? We're like, no, this is TV now. So, yeah, appreciate you all that are broadcasting on your televisions, on your phones, just checking us out. This is something fun, a labor of love for us. And we do love being able to kind of bring insights and the excitement. You can see that we really do care about what happens with Howard at all costs. And it's fun to talk about basketball a little bit, too. So a couple of minutes before the game, I know we want you to get your popcorn ready, like Chip mentioned at the beginning of the episode here. But like we always do, would love for Chip to kind of close this out to let you know why we do what we do. Chip?
Hey, always, again, and big shout out to Eric Grant for the Mecca Society. We just want to keep encouraging everyone as you're watching. Support these programs, support this championship culture, support the Dream Factory. You could do that with the Mecca Society and just give at the meccasociety.org. You can also donate to the Howard Athletics Department at hubison.com. Again, at the 757, stay in your seats because the ladies are coming. Everywhere you see this team play, we need butts in the seats. And as always, continue to support this podcast, share the podcast, comment at the podcast, like the podcast, subscribe. And you can listen to us on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. You can follow us at Bison Brothers Basketball. Hey, let's make this happen. Let's get ready for this game. The ladies are about to go do it. Take down Norfolk. Let's make it happen. We're going to close it out like we always do. You know.